In this tutorial session, we will look at downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So we'll start by sitting on the heels and we're going to come into child's pose. And this also determine the distance, the exact distance between the hands and the feet in downward facing dog. So bringing the forehead on the ground, arms straight. Pressing firmly through the hands and bringing the heels close to the sit bone. So the shoulders are still in their sockets. You're then coming up and bring the knees hip distance apart. Tuck the toes and sitting back onto the heels. Good. We're going to place some emphasis on the hands. So a common tendency is that we tend to cup the hands. So this causes unnecessary strain and pressure on the wrists. So you want to counteract that by spreading the fingers wide open and the entire palm pressing forward and down into the ground. The weight is distributed over the fingers and the entire palm. Middle finger pointing directly forward and the index finger and thumb pressing firmly into the ground. The wrists are parallel to the ground. Another tendency is that the fingers are slightly rotating outwards. So you want to counteract that by rotating the fingers inwards and then pressing the palm forward and down. Now this might seem like really minor small detail, but it makes a big difference in the posture. So pressing firmly through the hands, do you feel the stretch in your toes and feet become stronger? So you're distributing the weight from the hands towards the feet. And you want to do the same in downward facing dog. Distributing the weight from the hands to the feet and taking unnecessary strain from the shoulders. Good, then looking at the elbows. The inside of the elbows are facing each other. They're rotating outwards towards the front, but they're facing each other. This causes external rotation in the shoulders. Good, so we've created a firm foundation through the hands, working up through the arms, and then lift the hips high, and move the chest towards the feet, the crown of the head towards the ground. And step the feet hip distance and parallel. The outside edges of the feet are parallel, so you're not able to see your heels. If you do see your heels, then just slightly turn them outwards. Not too much, just very slightly. Relax the head and neck completely and gazing at the navel. Lengthening through the spine, draw the lower ribs in and draw the navel in and up, Uddiyana Bandha. Keeping the legs active, so you're contracting the quadriceps and you're lifting the kneecaps. Firmly pressing through the hands, arms are straight and active, shoulders away from the ears. If you do have hyperextending elbows, you can just slightly bend the elbows. Good. Slowly lower down, bring the knees onto the ground. Okay, just take a moment. Tuck the toes under again. Coming up into downward facing dog. And I will give a modification for beginners. The common tendency is that we tend to round the back. Now in the beginning, if you have tight hamstrings, you might need to bend the knees. The primary concern is to keep the back straight. So once you bend the knees, bring the chest towards the thighs and relax the head. Keeping the hips high and lifted. Draw the lower ribs in. Gradually over time, you will be able to straighten the legs more. Slowly lower down, bring the knees onto the ground. And coming back into child's pose. Coming onto the heels. Namaste.